Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another video. My name is Billiam, and today we are going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be discussing the new Battlefield 6 game from a perspective of somebody who really only plays mil-sim extraction shooters. So I wanted to make this video not because I am a huge Battlefield fan or anything like that. Actually, I would say I've mostly given up on the COD or Battlefield style FPS games. The past few either just never really held my attention. The last one I thought was actually decent was Battlefield 1, and COD hasn't been good since the original Modern Warfare 3 in my opinion. I really wanted to make this video to say that I am really surprised by how much fun this game is. I feel like it finally brings back that niche that these type of games are supposed to hit. Just simple, plain fun. If you don't take the game seriously, then you can have a lot of fun goofing off with your friends. Me and some of my boys got access to the beta and played it a lot this past weekend. Now, to be fair, I suck at this game. The gameplay you are watching now is actually pathetic by most standards, but for some reason, I didn't care. I was just happy to have a game that I could link up with the boys and have some simple fun with. So with all that said, I do have a few points I want to bring up about this game from the perspective of someone who doesn't play these type of FPS games anymore. The gameplay loop of Battlefield is something that anyone who has played any type of FPS game should know. You spawn in, run to the objective, try to get as many kills as possible while completing said objective, die, and do it all again. It is a loop that has stood the test of time because in the right setting with the right friends, it is a whole lot of fun. I feel like this loop has been bastardized by the streaming meta and everyone trying to sweat as hard as possible to be the next greatest COD streamer. But with Battlefield 6, I don't really feel like that is possible. There are so many people on both teams that there's going to be a wide variety of skill levels and situations that you can have fun no matter what. Battlefield 6, in my opinion, has hit the nail on the head with this loop and the way they are structuring the lobbies. I did not do very well when I went to record some gameplay, but I had other games where I was in the top 5 on the whole team and led the squad. I feel like everyone has that opportunity, and if you're willing to give it a chance, you can find a way to have some fun. Obviously, in any FPS game, gunplay is going to be a huge part of how the game feels. Too much recoil on the gun is going to leave players feeling like they have no control. Too little, and everything is just a headshot laser beam. I've seen and heard others talk about how all the guns feel like they have the same recoil pattern, and I can tell you that is 100% not the case. The AK-205 feels way different from the M4A1. I'm not sure how they are coming to this conclusion, but I can say I personally can tell a difference between the recoil of the different guns. Sniping in Battlefield is something that has always been an art. From what I can remember, they have always had some type of bullet drop, and you have to learn how to figure out how to hit your shots. This one is no different in my opinion. While none of the maps are as big as they had in some of the previous games, it is still difficult to hit the 250 plus meter shots consistently. But, to be fair, I am not the best sniper. I did have fun sitting up on some rocks by an objective with my buddies trying to hit the same players on the opposite team. It kind of turned into its own little mini game between us. We would call someone out, then the race was on to see who could drop them first. We weren't really worried about the objective. We were just having fun. And having fun in one of these types of FPS games is something that none of us has had in a long time. Now, I will say the only gun I really didn't like, and I mean I would be happy to never see this gun again, is that damn shotgun. So let's talk about the 3 maps that they have right now, the first one being Siege of Cairo. This is probably my favorite map of the 3. It has the right feel of having long sight lanes, but also has buildings you can go through to get that close quarter combat feel. The objective while playing Conquest gives the right mix between being chaotic and strategic. Some of them are open, so you have to be careful what cover you take to defend or push, and others are just so close quarters that if you have any type of range scope, you're going to not be able to do much. I feel like this map caters to any style of gameplay that a player could want, and it's not hard to find the fun. The next map is Liberation Peak, and from what I have played, it is the only breakthrough map in the beta. It does have Conquest as well, but I feel this map really shines with the breakthrough game mode. It is long range enough that you can snipe, but also has the objectives to capture that you have to get close to in order to progress or defend. My friend and I always found ourselves sniping on this map because it was just so damn fun to do so. We would have sniper battles with the other team, and when they were down for a bit, focus on the points to make sure we were helping the team either progress or defend the capture points. It was that mix of gameplay that really drew us in, and we played this for hours before we got a little bored of playing the same map over and over. I personally am really looking forward to the breakthrough game mode on future maps, as I think that is my favorite to play. The last map is Iberian Offensive, and I'm just going to be completely honest and say I do not care for this map. It is almost too small for how many players are on it, it feels too chaotic, capture points are too close together, and it's almost always close quarter combat. The one thing all maps have is building destruction, a long tradition that I believe has been in most Battlefield games. I feel like DICE really hit the nail on the head with how the building destruction works in this game. You can go from having complete cover, taking shots at the team, to having the building fall around you and you are suddenly exposed to everyone, and that's if you didn't die in the explosion first. This adds so much to how the map changes over the course of the game. One area that starts as being almost impossible to push turns into a place you can really mount a charge because the building has been blown up by tank and RPG shots, so players can't really hide in the windows anymore, and it opens up a pathway to the objective. I personally feel Battlefield 6 is an amazing game, and I will more than likely pick it up when it releases in October. It takes me back to the times where my friends and I were in college playing COD all night. No sweats, no meta, just plain fun. Obviously, this type of game is not an extraction shooter. Duh. So I'll never scratch that itch that I have to play those types of games, and it probably will never be the main game that I play. It will, however, be the game that I'm happy to hop on with my friends just to have a good time. It is something we can play together that we don't have to be locked in 100%. Because when you die, you don't lose everything. You don't lose progression, you just respawn back in and laugh about how funny your character flew when you caught a tank round to the face. We can relax, talk about our day, our kids, our jobs, and how much it's going to suck getting up in the morning because it's 2 a.m. and we aren't in college anymore. The game is just fun, plain and simple. For those of you who watch my content, this type of video is something that I've not done before. I was so impressed with this game, I felt I had to let my core audience know, as I know many of you are just like me and play mainly extraction shooters. I, of course, am not being paid to say any of this. I just really enjoyed my time with the game, and I feel like there are others out there who are like me, who have given up on this genre of game, that may miss those simpler times and need a way to still play an FPS, but with lower stakes. If you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like. Let me know in the comments what your takeaway is from Battlefield 6 if you played it, and if you would like to see me make some more content on this game. If you're interested in some extraction shooter gameplay, please see some of my other videos, and if you really enjoyed yourself, please consider hitting that sub button. That is all for me. Have a good rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.